Hello, beautiful angels. Is everybody seeing the screen? Is it all working well? Good. Wonderful, wonderful. And so this amazing lucid dream that is unfolding here has certain rules. And those are kind of the rules that are collectively agreed upon before we embarked upon this beautiful lucid dream. And so that's why creation can work in an organized manner. And one of the rules of the lucid dreaming is that we are magnets and we draw to us from the quantum field of infinite possibilities. And when we get really good at it, you would say that we are magicians who are performing miracles, but all the time. So then everything's a miracle. And of course, some of the great yogis, they got really good at it, and they would be able to perform miracles of manifestation. They knew how to draw instantaneously from the quantum field. It requires great mastery. And so this is unveiling here. In our lives, we can recognize it as amazing synchronicities, and sometimes what we would also call miracles. That all is really the rules within this quantum dream. So synchronicities are fabulous. A few, I don't know now if it's days or by now if it's weeks, lost in time with no time, beautiful Lakshmi came and she looked like this. And so I was looking online, I was searching through all the different images of Lakshmi, and I came across this one, which led me to the Fine Art America page of this beautiful artist, Ananda Vdovic, who is German and I believe Ukrainian, or some of the mixture of it that. And so I reached out to her because I want to buy the original painting instead of a print. And so I saw on her website that she created some crazy, huge artwork of Divine Mother, which costs $2.3 million, or even more actually, because it's in euros. And it's a huge, huge painting. And so I said, that would be nice, but one day. And so I started to communicate with her through email, and she just emailed me like, an hour ago. And she says, and by the way, I also created beautiful music. And she said, she created this. And of course, the synchronicity of this, we've been listening to this for years. So the song I was just playing, Mother Divine, the Devi Prayer, is by Ananda. Oh my gosh, that is her voice. And the cover that I've seen again and again and again, hi Olivia, in my phone, because I play it all the time. I've had it since Divine Mother visited me in 2017. I never realized this is a painting that Ananda painted. Oh my gosh, what a woman. She's in her 70s now. And so again, if you want to buy one of her prints or whatever she has, then she has an account on Fine Art America, which is a wonderful website where you get to choose the image of Divine Mother, and then they print it for you in really wonderful quality on canvas and other media. So, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm going to be emailing her tonight. And of course, calling in from the quantum field, right? The beautiful artwork for 2.3 million euros. Why not? We can build a temple for Divine Mother. I told her, surely there is someone who can build a temple with that artwork. And so I wanted to show you her artwork if you haven't seen it. So first of all, this is Lakshmi, but she also created this absolutely huge, huge, huge. It's so huge, she told me, this painting that she created of Divine Mother. She, obviously encounters Divine Mother. And so she created this, and it's so big that 6 strong men need to carry it together to move it. And it has like amazing crystals on it. So this is it. I mean, like, this is exceptional. Divine Mother must love this. And so I just wanted to show it here to energize it with your beautiful energies, since we are all about Divine Mother. Let me just move this. And she also, it's like a multi-dimensional thing. It's the world's biggest transparent gemstone painting. Let's take a look at it. I'm curious. Amazing. So, whew, what a beautiful Lakshmi. You know, it's so funny. I've never seen Divine Mother with straight hair, for example, just to say. And I always think about it how, you know, she uses the movement of the serpent, even for her own hair, to have wavy hair. No matter what form she appeared in, she always had wavy hair, you know, movement of life force, the magnetic flow of up and down, meaning a good thing, not just up and down. And so here we are in her world. Isn't this amazing? So we are magnetizing from the quantum field that this beautiful artwork ends up in a beautiful temple where people can come and really connect with it deeply. I think it said at the end it's 2 meters by almost 2 meters. That's huge. So really magnificent. And so Ananda obviously creates from her own experiences with Divine Mother and with seeing, because that's exactly what Lakshmi, for example, looks like. Yeah, we'll have to rename it and name it, you know, Divine Mother's Temple, so that we can have all the forms of Divine Mother. And so what is unfolding here is just so huge. We will be stepping into the equinox energy. We are actually stepping into the equinox energy now. Now, equinox. Why is equinox so important? Well, You know, we are on this beautiful planet, as you know, and we are working on the alignment of the axis of the world so that once again we can be experiencing golden age. Golden age is experienced when the axis of the world is aligned once again to true north and to true south. Also, where all beings within the world then are aligned with that true north and true south. So when everything comes into alignment, the earth once again aligns with the solar energies of the much bigger solar system than just the one that we are familiar with. And then we are aligned with all the other axes of the other worlds, which means the solar worlds, the other planets, and the galaxy as well. Last night, you know, I always, before I go to bed, I go outside, look at the sky, stand barefoot, you know, on the lawn, and I call it in, which I always recommend, preparing yourself for the adventure at night so that you can be with Divine Mother and so that you can be with Divine Father. And one thing I learned to say is, and I want to remember, because remembering then, you know, brings in the knowledge as well. And so last night I was with this Taoist master in Cosmos. Let's look at Cosmos here, who was explaining to me our place in the galaxy and the I want to pronounce it correctly, and I hope I will, precession of the equinoxes. Sorry, just my dogs want to get out. Just one moment. Yes, go and say hello. Go and say hello. And so this Taoist master in heavens and cosmos was explaining to me, he was drawing, you know, this diagram of how the earth moves through the galaxy. And he was telling me about the core of the galaxy and what energy it emanates. And he told me that the energy emanating by the core of the galaxy is the energy of yin. So when we speak about yin and yang, those are the creative principle of all that is. And you can see it on this drawing from actually ancient Taoist scriptures, how we are connected in our physicality to the earth and in all our higher bodies and subtle bodies to different realms of cosmos. It's pretty incredible. And so he was telling me how the earth, when she moves through the galaxy, she is really moving and also wobbling, and that the axis is pointing always to what we call the violet star. The violet star, right now for us, it is the Polaris. But Polaris, usually we have different actually violet stars. We have different pole north stars, right? North stars. It's where the axis of the world is pointing changes, which is pretty incredible. And so our journey through the galaxy, through the precession of the equinoxes, it takes about 26,000 earthly years. So that's a big journey that we are upon here. And so one thing that really fascinated me earlier on the call today, I was talking about an experience I had with Thoth when he came as Hermes Trismegistos, and when he was teaching me about the golden cauldron. And that will be on YouTube so that you can go through the process of creation. And then I found this today in, again, another Taoist text. And what fascinated me about this, which I know that you will be fascinated by this too, that the cauldron connects to the Big Dipper. Yeah, and so what does it mean? I know you guys know because you've done this work. The Big Dipper emanates divine will. And then the Big Dipper is connected to Source. Source emanates divine will through the Big Dipper into our creation. I know, isn't this incredible? This is like, wow. So if you were on the earlier call today, I was explaining, you know, the process of creation, how I learned it from Thoth. And so this then made so much sense because we have to be connected to divine will to create all out of love according to divine will, right? Not according to our will. So the mystery that's unfolding here is huge. Is it okay if we go again through the process of creation, because so that everybody knows how to create here? Even if we repeated that, we repeated. Okay, wonderful. I first got to see the golden cauldron around the year 2008. I had no idea it even existed, but I was meditating, as we do. And so one day, a being walked into my bedroom, as they like to do, and he introduced himself as Hermes Trismegistos. Now, I didn't know who that was, so I asked him to spell his name because I wanted to write it down so I can see what he's saying. And so he came to teach me about creation, which we can call also the alchemical process. Creation is truly alchemy. It is an alchemy that is an alchemy of really the 5 elements, of bringing elements together. And you will see the process he taught me very much makes sense when you look at this beautiful picture, because you see all the things that we talked about. And he said, it's very simple. It's very simple. And so let's create together. It starts in the heart. It always starts in the heart. Heart is the true center of our being. It is the most magnetic part of us and the most powerful part of us. Now, when we get to see the magnetism of our own heart, we also see something very puzzling, and I've been able to observe it the last few days, that even our heart's magnetic field aligns with the North Star, just like the Earth. So within us, our heart mimics the magnetism of the Earth. It's really incredible. And so the heart is our starting point. Love is our starting point. A good question that we have practiced together is, what would love do next? What would love to experience? What would love to create? What would love like to bring into this world? What would love delight in? And so on and so on. So the question comes from love, not from need, not from want, right? Not from lack. It comes from love, and love is always full. The fullness of love actually pulls then magnetically from the quantum field. Now, I've seen the quantum field several times, and at times it's particles, but sometimes it's also strings. But in this case, we'll be working with particles, quantum particles. Now, Hermes Trismegistus, Thoth, told me that the quantum particles must be invited. And so with an open heart, you peek into the quantum field, whether you see it or not, but really you are peeking with your beautiful magnetic heart. And because the heart is magnetic and it can grow in magnetism, the more loving we are, the more magnetism we have. It's very simple. It's a wonderful game here. And so, of course, the big master beings, right? They are just all love, which is actually the embodiment of Christ consciousness. And so, for example, you would say, the master beings like Ananda, they only knew love. And again, I will quote from Yogananda when they asked him how to protect yourself. And he said, I don't think about it. I am just always in love with God. And that is my protection. And so in a way, it means that when we are always in love with the divine, which is within, that we also create that incredible magnetism around us, which also then serves in a way that we would say as a protection. And so love is pretty incredible. And so with that incredible love, whatever it is that truly love would do next through you, which is what would the divine will do through you, right? So we then call in and invite the available quantum particles from the quantum field. As creator beings who engage in this alchemical process, we let go of all doubt. We let go of all fear, and we are in our absolute divine confidence, which means I know who I am and I am one with divine will. And through divine will, I am one with Mother, Father, God, of course. So there is no room for anything else. There is no room for the robot mind, the computer AI mind that sits really in our lower human bodies. And so we do have several layers of our mind, but one of the two really important layers is what we can call really the computer mind, which is in our lower bodies. And then we have our divine mind, which is really our higher mind of God, of divine self within, that operates in a different dimension. So as beings who really want to participate as masters in this alchemical process, we get in touch with the mind of God within us, which is the mind of your own divine self within you. That divine self knows who you are. So there is no doubt, no fear, no what if not, none of that, right? It's just knows. Divine confidence exists within the divine mind. So with that divine confidence, you call into the quantum field and you ask the available quantum particles who wish to become your creation to come in and to come into your golden cauldron. This is how it goes. And again, I always thought it's really weird. Why would there be a cauldron? Who needs a cauldron to create? But it is part of our design in the subtle body. And so again, in Taoism and in Qigong, you work with this. So the quantum particles come and they create soup in your beautiful cauldron. So again, we are working with many elements here. And so all the quantum particles are now in your cauldron, but now it's the time for the divine mind to imprint the design onto the particles. And so you are the architect. You are the creator here, always aligned with divine will, but you do have a purpose to also create. And so now you are the mind of God in this world. And so very simple example would be the architecture. Let's say we designing a temple for Divine Mother so that we can place that beautiful painting we just saw into the temple. So the temple absolutely needs architecture, doesn't it? Without architecture, there is no temple. Maybe a few bricks, but it's not going to be a good structure. And so as architects, we engage our divine mind and we really design those lines and structures in that divine mind. So that's how we use our divine mind. We do create shapes and geometries, and then these available quantum particles that came into your cauldron will actually read the design and they will coalesce together. They will kind of create this quantum entanglement where they become a thing together. And then, next step, you want to stir this beautiful creation, alchemical potion that you are creating with a golden ladle. Now, again, I know it sounds like a fairy tale, and there are fairy tales about the golden ladle. And I got to see the golden ladle, not just once, but several times. And I don't know exactly what it all means, but I'm glad that ancient Taoists saw the same and that they worked with the same alchemy. And so you are stirring with your golden ladle with love. And so your form is coming into being. You see the temple. You see it in front of you like a hologram. We are working in a quantum field. Of course, it's going to be a hologram. We are all in a hologram. The whole cosmos is a hologram. And that's just how it is. That's quantum creation. The only thing is that here in this world, we also are in a world that we would call material, meaning, the energy becomes what we call matter, and it's just another form of art. But is it real? Is it not? Is anything real? Is creation real? Is creation and the creator the same? and what is real. So it's like asking who is real, the dreamer or the dream. All of cosmos is divine dream. All the different dimensions, all the realities, it's all a beautiful cosmic dream. Is it valuable? Very much so. It's God dreaming. And so it's all one big hologram. And in this world, we would say it's material. It's very physical art. But the question is it all that real? So we are learning to play. So now you see a beautiful temple, golden temple probably for Lakshmi, we want golden temple. You see the pillars, you see all the structures within it. Maybe you even added some artwork, some beautiful benches, some beautiful nature. All of it is in your cauldron and it coalesced together. The next step is an important step that you also see here in the picture. It is the invitation to the living fire of God. And we actually invite that golden fire of God into the cauldron. So we are cooking this alchemical soup here. We are cooking creation, right? There are also ancient people in Africa who always spoke about cooking as a process of creation. And so this is why it's called cooking. So we bring in the fire of God into the cauldron, and we do it so that we transmute all imperfections. We transmute all that we might not have thought about. We bring perfection of God as the living fire of God, the I am that I am, into your cauldron, kind of the burning bush. And so as you invite the fire, your structure that you created is now turning into magical dust. Everything is transmuted and you end up with dust. You place the dust in your hand, right or left, it doesn't matter. And now we want to engage the element of air. And so you hold that beautiful golden dust in your hand and you blow all these quantum particles that have been cooked and transmuted. You blow them into the field of this reality. So let's blow together. That's why the shamans are using their breath to actually transmit energy, right? We're using the 5 elements. And so now we are in the element of earth. This is the element of earth. We are here in the material, physical world. So it's wonderful. As you blow this beautiful golden dust into this physical world, you completely are signaling your freedom. You're signaling your non-attachment to your creation, because it's actually a very important part of creation is complete letting go. Complete letting go means not going back to it, not wondering when is it gonna happen, not wondering is it gonna happen, how is it gonna happen, what if it doesn't happen, none of that. We give breath to the creation. I like it, Andy, thank you. That's wonderful, actually. So we breathe it into being, right? It's like, wasn't it Golem that had the breath? I don't know. I don't remember the story about the golem, but I remember that was a fairy tale I used to watch with breathing into the golem, making golem alive. And golem, I think, was made of clay. Yes, yes, yes. And so here we are. We completely let go. We don't return to the same thing. We don't wait for it. We simply know with complete divine confidence, it is 100% on its way. 100% on its way. We don't question. We don't go and check up on it. Nothing. We are in love, and in divine will is also divine order. And all things are then working perfectly because these quantum particles now are spreading through this world and they are bringing together your creation to you. And when we see little signs of it, we, in complete gratitude, just bow to the little signs we receive, which is synchronicity. So it's also good to review the start of it. Divine self is the highest aspect of you. that comes through the spine into this being and is expressed through this physicality here into this world, ideally, fully and completely, with no other self in the way. So that requires a certain adjustment. The divine self has a very different mind from the mind that we were so used to. So when we want to create something, we create it as inspiration from the divine self. You only do this whenever you want to create something from your divine self as inspiration. And it could be things you never thought about because it doesn't work through the mind that we were used to. It's more like something drops into your heart and says, yes, this makes sense. Love would do this next. So I'm just going to show an example a little bit, So when Hermes Trismegistus taught me this process, for example, I would be working with my divine self every day, and not every day is the moment to create something big, right? Not every day. Sometimes you are just assimilating. Sometimes you are also just simply doing your work. And not every day do you create a temple. But when the time is right, when the conditions are right, when the energy is right, when the divine self says today, then you go through the process. You only do it when the divine self inspires you to do so. So it never comes from like, I need something or I want something. It always is divine self giving you actually heart-centered inspiration. So, for example, after I learned this process, I used it whenever the divine self said, use it now. And so again, a story. I like stories because I listen to other people's stories and then I don't forget their stories and then I apply it to my own life when applicable. So let's say my divine self suddenly dropped this inspiration in me that came truly out of nowhere in my logical third dimensional mind and said, you're going to Israel. And there was no like, oh, I wonder where I should go. I wonder, when I go to do anything, nothing like that. It was like, you're going to Israel. And I said, okay, let's see how that unfolds. So it was just me and my daughter living in Berlin, and I was working for the government. And we had a little TV, and now and again, we would watch cartoons and stuff. But in the morning when she was getting ready for school and waiting for me, really, I would put on a cartoon or something. So I put on the TV, and the first thing that came on was like travel guide to Israel. And I thought, aha, synchronicity. This is the path of the divine self. She, he, it will send you these synchronicities, and you have to acknowledge them and say, thank you. I hear you. I hear you. So I come to the office and, I talk to the president in the morning to see what's going on. And he says, by the way, you need to go to Israel. And I said, thank you. Of course, absolutely. Off I go, right? And so immediately I'm sent to Israel. And there was nothing I needed to figure out. That was nothing. It was just instantaneous. And so I ended up, in Israel. And magic, of course, unfolded there. And so this is how the divine self works, just so that we know exactly how it works. It's very cool and fun. And it's like being in your own lucid dream, right? Where all of this just flows to you. It comes to you. You draw it to you without much effort, if any at all, because actually whenever there is effort, it's probably not exactly the flow. It's more about following the flow, and it all magnetically is drawn to you. Yes, that's it. And so with that, once again, look at this picture. I'm just so blown away by this, again, from Taoist teachings. What fascinates me about this is look at our little place here. And I know you cannot see it probably, but that's a little person sitting upright on the earth where it says you. So amazing. And so we have the physical plane and then the higher and the higher and higher planes, tiny little ants. But look where the 5 elements are. as the creators of really all that is within created cosmos. So cosmos as creation is the creation of source, of God. It's the art of God. It's the dream of God. So it's pretty amazing. And then, of course, the puzzling thing, yin and yang. Why are they all the way up there? It is the two trumpets of creation. When you see this, right, we are so familiar with the symbol. It is actually not a two-dimensional thing. These are two trumpets of creation, ideally without the devil and the angel. This is what the yin and yang is. It is being and non-being. Two trumpets that create, that you can see here. So I recommended in the past to chant Mu. It is Mu, that the chant of Mu, that connects us all the way to the subtle origin from which the two trumpets of creation come to create realities. At that level, we encounter the creator as Indra, as strings and rainbow jewels. Indra's net exists at that level. It's pretty incredible. So big mystery unveiling here. And so we go now into the alignment of the axis of the world once again. And then tomorrow, Patricia's event is at 11 a.m. Pacific. So I'll send an email with the link to her event page as well. And at 5 p.m. we will meet and we will rewatch Patricia's event, I think. So here is this beautiful, beautiful, powerful axis of the world alignment that also aligns us so that we can benefit from this incredible alignment.
The immaculate concept of the axis of the earth. We take a deep breath. We inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Every breath is our Father, Mother, God in action. We breathe again, and with an open heart, we offer our love to our I Am Presence and the I Am Presence of every man, woman, and child on earth. We feel love and its infinite splendor. United in our presence, we offer ourselves as a cup, a holy grail, in order to accomplish victoriously the divine plan. The presences envelop all of us with great care. Our four bodies, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, are relaxed and united, expressing the perfection of who we are. This unique moment is the grace. Our elemental beings, devas, sylphs, salamanders, undines, and gnomes are filled with joy. We feel totally surrounded by love and wisdom, deeply connected to our presence, I am, and the I am presence of all humanity. We are ready to participate in the great divine plan orchestrated since thousands and thousands of years ago. In the name of our mighty and resplendent divine presence, I am, we invoke Archangel Michael, Lady Faith, and their legions of angels. The sapphire blue light sparkles all around us and expands all over the planet. We invoke the directors of the 5 elements who take their strategic positions north, east, south, west, and in the center of the earth. We now invoke Polaris and Magnus, who stand blazing as suns at the north and south poles. We invoke Sanat Kumara and Lord Gautama, who take their position above the earth. We invoke the solar logos and all the beings of light abiding in the realms of eternal perfection. We welcome these glorious beings of light, and we send them our deepest gratitude. We contemplate this wonderful circle of light they form in the atmosphere of Earth. We greet them, and they do the same. One with all divine life, we create a wonderful chalice of light. As one breath, the majestic Polaris and Magnus stand ready. From their hearts, a magnificent beam of bright light embraces the entire planet. In tune with the heartbeat of all life, they breathe into the axis of the earth a powerful shaft of light. The prodigious rays projected by Polaris and Magnus meet at the center of the earth. Instantly, they unite, forming a powerful sphere of light. This sphere of light becomes bigger and bigger and envelops the entire planet and expands even further. In the core of the earth, her threefold flame shines as a sun. The threefold flame of the planet is resplendent, and its trillions of particles are spreading to the surface, igniting the threefold flame of every man, woman, and child. All the archangels and Mother Mary join us in this merciful activity of light. All the beings of light blaze into the axis of the planet and into all life the splendor of the 12 attributes of our Father, Mother God. The 12 rays of light twirl in the earth, around the earth, into the elemental kingdom, into the angelic kingdom, into humanity, and around every atom and electron forming the planet. Above the earth, the crown of the 12 Elohim is activated, glowing as never before. Above the head of every man, woman, and child, the crown of the Elohim becomes shining in all its glory. Its radiation magnifies the beauty of the solar spine, allowing the solar chakras to blaze at an accelerated speed, straightening the axis of the earth. In this very special instant, the solar spine of every man, woman, and child is being aligned with the axis of the earth, the axis of the galaxy, and the axis of our Father, Mother God. Polaris and Magnus hold the planet in their hands. Their heart is one with the heart of all life. The sound of the divine heartbeat echoes in the universe, and all the kingdom of heaven chant the symphony of victory. The planet is experiencing divine fireworks whose source is the great axis of the divine cosmos. An infinite flow of shimmering light escapes from the center up to the north and down to the south, turning the earth into a magnificent star. Then Polaris and Magnus declare, "Our beloved ones, we have been waiting for this moment for millennia. We rejoice today as never before. We rejoice because now you are aware of our dedicated presence. We rejoice because here and now you know deeply the work we are doing to maintain the earth in her perfect orbit. We rejoice because now you understand how our precious ray of light allows our dear planet to be a part of the divine creation. We rejoice because the axis is shifting back to its perfect place. We rejoice because the adjustment of the axis will help you to become one with your divine self and one with the divine self of all life. We rejoice because your own solar spine is being restored into its original perfection. We rejoice because from now on, the veil of Maya can be dissolved forever. We rejoice because as we come closer to you, you will be able to hear clearly or feel our presence, consolidating your solar spine and comforting each one of you. We rejoice because today the elemental kingdom can manifest again the splendor it was supposed to create on the surface of the earth. We rejoice because your deep desire to grow and ascend has led all of us to a new place where all beings are aligned in one breath and where enchantment is the order of the new day. We have long held for each of you the vision of this divine plan. This unprecedented accomplishment will stimulate so many facets of yourself, reconnecting you to your immense divine abilities. More than ever before, you are ready to fulfill perfectly your divine mission and the divine plan for all. Today, we invite you to call upon us often. Our answer will be instantaneous, and together we will perpetuate the grace that has been taking place for decades and again today. We invite you to our flamboyant temples located at the North and the South Poles. There, you will contemplate our work and your work. You will be overwhelmed by the greatness of every expression of life. As one brotherhood and sisterhood, and by the power of one heartbeat, we will strengthen and strengthen again and again the axis of the earth and the axis of every man, woman, and child on the planet. Doing so, all beings will have the possibility to soar and become a pillar of love and light for all life. Can you feel this immense privilege? Can you see or feel the healing that is taking place? We confirm to you that this healing will restore the perfect DNA of every life form on Earth. And as the DNA is recalibrated, all the information bundled within can come to your awareness and help you to see with new eyes and progress with new abilities. Remember, thousands upon thousands of years ago, you stood in your infinite resplendence. The time has come for humanity to stand straight again in complete harmony with the axis of all planets, galaxies, and suns. The time has come for humanity to stand straight again in complete harmony with the axis of all planets, galaxies, and suns. The time has come for humanity to stand straight again in complete harmony with the axis of all planets, galaxies, and suns. We promise you that by the straightening of the axis of the earth and your own axis, you and all the beings of all worlds will feel a significant shift in your bodies and in your daily lives. We are your guardians in this unique adventure. What a glorious moment. Thank you. The vision is breathtaking, and we contemplate the supremacy of this moment. The straightening and strengthening of the axis allows the planet to evolve in a new octave of liberty and perfection. The light is so dazzling that it sublimates our hearts, our minds, and our bodies. As we absorb these high-quality vibrations, we feel the divine unity that transcends all separation. We can hear the music coming out from the center of the earth and from the axis itself. Exquisite fragrances envelop all life. The dazzling radiation coming out from the axis is pure beauty. The comprehensive divine love of our Father, Mother, God takes command and orchestrates with the I Am presence a symphony of glory that echoes into all particles of life and throughout the entire universe. Saint Germain and Lady Portia stand in the core of this activity, and through their open hearts, a bright stream of violet flame from suns beyond suns pours into every corner of the earth, transmuting all the residue of impurity still remaining on the planet. We become a magnet of love, a magnet of the divine perfection of our Father, Mother, God. The divine attributes of the Almighty are pouring into our solar spine as an eternal cascade of light. As we integrate these virtues, we become pillars of light, one with the perfect axis of all things. We gaze in wonder at our mighty divinity, admiring our immaculate concept and the immaculate concept of all life. Marvelous paths of light are presented to humanity, and we declare, I am my I Am presence, and I am one with all life. I am pure light, a precious child of our Father, Mother, God. I am my perfect axis in total harmony with suns beyond suns. I am the immaculate concept of my divine reality, a great co-creator who manifests the kingdom of heaven on earth. I am powerful and victorious in the light of God. Perfection blossoms everywhere and around all life as all hearts are aligned with all creation. We are one with the axis of all life. From now on, we declare our pure and elevated thoughts will create worlds of happiness. Our lips will only express soft, enlightened, and uplifting words. Our ears will open to the music of the celestial spheres and to words of love. Our nostrils will welcome with gratitude the precious and vital air. Our sweet gazes, full of reverence, will transfigure all that they encounter. Our bodies will express elegance, majesty, and eternal youth. We rise with grace, and in our elevation, millions of souls rise with us. This divine alchemy is occurring in every man, woman, millennial, and child. The divine alchemy is occurring in the very earth itself. This moment is a miracle. The earth's axis is shining as never before. Humanity integrates and manifests even more the joy and the grace of the fifth dimension. We give thanks to our beloved Polaris and Magnus. We give thanks to all beings of light. We give thanks to our divine presence, I am. In a state of bliss, we know that this divine plan is perfectly accomplished as God's most holy name, I am. In one voice, we declare, I am that I am. I am my divine presence, which I infinitely love.
So beautiful. I get so excited about this, and I hope you get excited about it too. Because, so why do we repeat? I saw the question, right? Why not to repeat creation of the same thing again and again and again? We are pulling stuff from the ethers. So let's say I want to create a temple for Divine Mother that doesn't exist. So I'm asking all the available particles, quantum particles that are willing to become the temple for Divine Mother, to come from the ethers in a way to come from the element of ether, which is nothingness and everythingness, which is the field of infinite possibilities. And they become something new, something which hasn't been built yet. Whereas the earth, the axis of the earth, all that is here, it already is quantum particles that became. So we are strengthening. We are kind of treating the tree of life within the earth with our loving care to slowly and gently come back into alignment. We are watering a plant to start thriving again. Maybe we are pruning a little bit, right? So we are slowly strengthening. Whereas when we create something new, like a temple or a home and who knows what, we just pull it from the ethers because it doesn't exist just yet. We're giving completely new thing into existence. This is more about healing. And so we are also pulling the healing energy, of course. The other thing is with the cauldron, so you realize that everything in creation comes into being through these 5 elements that you see here. So in the cauldron is the same thing. We pull from the ether, which is an element, then we bring it into the soup, which is the element of water. We give it the element of fire for transmutation. We use the element of air to blow it into being. I like it to give it the breath of life. Thank you, Andy. And then we also bring it to the earth, which is the other element. So we have all 5 elements. in this alignment of this axis of the earth, we are aligning once again with the axis of cosmos. As you know from what we have taught here, is that cosmos itself also has a tree of life within it. There's a tree of life within all, within cosmic creation. Cosmos itself is one big tree of life. And then we have smaller trees of life. A universe is a tree of life. A galaxy is a tree of life. A solar logos is a tree of life. Solar system is a tree of life. The earth is a tree of life. You and me are a tree of life. And so once again, we are aligning all the trees, if that sounds good. When we work with the ashes, you know, there were mystics who were able to pull the ashes directly from the ethers, right? So we had the ashes of Shiva. Kalashvar was very famous for pulling the ashes straight from the ethers. Those are the ashes that we are working here with when we blow the ashes into the world, right? So it's pretty amazing. This is all very, very mystical. We also, when we work with the alignment of the earth, we actually are creating the earth as a magnificent star. If you have 33 codes, you know, the chapter at the beginning where the beings in cosmos showed me how actually the earth will reveal her star from the core of herself. That's exactly what's happening here. And finally, we have the beautiful equinox coming up. So this would be my recommendation from just what I learned in Cosmos about how to approach a moment like equinox. We have massive amount of harmonic energies coming from Cosmos to the Earth during equinox. One day before, one day of, and one day after are the most powerful portal days for the equinox. It is recommended to wear white because this equinox is aligned with what we call in mythologies the white dragon. And so it's good to eat very lightly because we want to be a little bit empty, not so full, so that we can receive this cosmic chi, the cosmic energy that will be coming to us, through us. It goes into the earth first. The beings that we are, the humans here, we are a little secondary when it comes to this process. It is more about the earth. And so when you can step up on the earth, spend a lot of time with her, let her align you as you do this. Yes. And so for the video, I've been posting these replays on YouTube every day. So part of it is the recording of this beautiful alignment. But we are now working on a really magnificent video. It's a really dedicated artist, and actually two of them, who will be working on the video for about 2 months to produce something that we can then distribute globally, of course, for free, so that we create a global event, and ideally global events, especially for equinox, for solstice, for big portal days, like 11/11 is the cosmic portal. So our goal is to have it completed by 11/11 so that we can use it on 11/11. And, you know, we'll just create a big outreach in the world and bring as many people as possible who are dedicated. We only want dedicated people, right? To participate in the alignment of the earth through the video and through the visualization. The video also will be a DNA activation, so the visuals themselves will be very similar to what you saw at the World Congress on Illumination that Leon shared with us, that activated actually everyone's DNA there. And so it will be something very similar to that. So something to look forward to. So thank you so much. Let's go and create something fun. Let's go and design an architect. And I'm going to feed the dogs. See you guys tomorrow. I'll send an email with all the details as well. So thank you so much. Bye-bye.